Hey, Lindsay Walton, professional team builder here. Today I'm posting 3 recommended reading videos. This is the third one. And so the final book that I wanted to share with you is the Hug Therapy book by Kathleen Keating. Anybody out there who's thinking, ugh, hugs, that's fruity hippie nonsense, so skip this video. It's not. It's actually a core skill for facilitators and team builders to build, so stick around, let me tell you more. First of all, something that we're learning about human beings, we actually need hugs, cuddles, snuggles, physical touch of some kind in order to survive our initial period of life and then to thrive as we go on. We've learned that unfortunately infants can actually die from lack of physical touch, and so they need to be held, cuddled, and snuggled. Then we get to childhood and adulthood where it's less about survival, but we fail to thrive if we don't have hugs and cuddles and physical touch as part of our experience. So a couple of things that hugs can do for us: relieve tension, lower stress, dispel feelings of loneliness. When somebody is in pain and so they're reaching for other things, whether it's food or gambling or shopping, trying to make that pain go away, hugs are things that help to fill that void. And if all of a sudden that emotional battery is filled up a little bit more, simply because somebody took 3 seconds to give us a little gentle squeeze and then move on with their day, oh my goodness, that's more energy that we have to give to our teams. That's more energy that we have to give to our tasks in a day. And it's less desperation that we feel to find another source of filling up that battery. So many amazing things happen when we hug each other. Can I really encourage you, actually, if you want to know more beyond this book, also check out the Free Hugs movement. There are some great YouTube videos. See what some people who really value hugs ended up doing for their communities just by standing on a street corner holding a sign that said free hugs. Look how people responded to that. So application for your teams. This particular book goes through some of the basics of the benefits of hugs. You can see the pages aren't packed with text. It's really simple and straightforward. And goes over how to make sure, the ethics and rules of conduct, making sure that people understand that, this is meant to be a respectful interaction. And this hug book is not focused on romantic hugs. It's actually saying this is not meant to, convey passion. Instead, this is taking a look at how do I convey encouragement, support, that you are seen, heard, understood, valued, and welcomed here. All of those messages, how do we convey them best? Things like asking permission before hugging, asking permission and sharing, oh, I need a hug. Could I have a hug, please? Just making sure that people understand the basic dynamics and that there are different levels of receptiveness to hugs, so you don't overcome people's barriers about hugs. You work with them, build up to different kinds of hugs. And speaking of that, it goes through the different kinds of hugs and the benefits of them, the messages that they can convey. So if you yourself are a hugger, that's awesome, because that generally means that, okay, you already feel comfortable offering them. But maybe you've noticed that when you go to hug somebody, they tense up, or you've gotten a phone call from the HR department. Huggers can benefit from building their hugging skills, so being able to read other people a little bit better and learning how to work with them so your hugs actually convey the message that you intended them to. If you are not a hugger, I'll first share with you that more often than not, I find people who are not huggers, there's a story behind that. There's a reason why their bubble is the way that it is. And just if that's you, then that's okay. Don't worry about that. It's just something to be aware of and go, yes, I know that this relationship or this experience in the past has impacted how I give or receive hugs. When you're more aware of that, it helps you to grow that much more rapidly, because huggers benefit from growing in their hugging skills. Non-huggers benefit from growing in their hugging skills. And so you as a facilitator will then go on to figure out how hugging fits into your programs, or how you try to work it into your team dynamics. There's sort of a spectrum. There are facilitators who really hardcore, really run with the hugging skill. It's an active part of their programs. They do entire team sequences that are helping people to get into each other's physical space so that by the end they can actually do a full-on bear hug, something they never would have thought of doing before in their life, and yet here they are, comfortable, grabbing a hold of somebody else and being held onto like that. That's one end of the spectrum. And then at the other end of the spectrum, and this is more where I sit personally, it's not for group facilitation. I don't ask or, create environments and experiences that ask my participants to work into hugging each other. Instead, I allow that to happen organically. If they want to hug, they can do it. If they don't want to, that's fine. That's not the focus of my program. Instead, for myself, I'm taking a look at watching the individuals in my group, and I found it so beneficial that when somebody looks like they're having a really hard day or they're feeling super discouraged, to walk up to them, just say, you look like you're, having a bit of a hard time today. Did you want to talk? Listening and then finding out, would this person benefit from a hug? I simply ask, is it okay if I give you a hug? So many people have taken me up on that option, and so I want you to know those hugs have had very powerful outcomes. It's one of the reasons why I consistently offer them. Is it okay if I give you a hug? And I've had people say thank you. People who have kind of gone, oh, I'm not really a hugger, but then kind of melted into the hug a little bit. They were tense and then just stayed there for longer than I was expecting. They really needed that hug. I've had one or two people who started crying. Just that hug was enough to help them overcome what they were holding back and that actually really desperately needed to come out. So they got a good hug, they had a good cry, and because it was cathartic, they were actually able to go, okay, now I'm ready, and move on to the next thing. So I've seen hugs help participants to re-engage when their mind, their heart, their brain was just somewhere else because something hurt. Hugs are powerful, so with that, I highly recommend grabbing this book, learning more about hugs, the benefits, the different kinds, and the rules and ethics behind them so that it really does communicate the best message possible and you don't get calls from HR. So with that in mind, I will just note that this book is a little bit more difficult to get. I was really fortunate to come across it, but it's not in general print anymore, so you'll probably need to check out Amazon, eBay, more the used bookstores. If you find it at a garage sale, grab it. And if you do find it online, I find sometimes people are selling it for a ridiculous price just because it is harder to find. Wait a couple of weeks, then go check back, and chances are the prices fluctuate. You can probably pick it up for a better price. But absolutely worth having on your shelf as a facilitator. And can you do me a favor? If you give this a read, tell me what your thoughts are. Share your thoughts in the comments. If this book sounds like it could be beneficial for somebody that you know, please share the video and absolutely be sure to subscribe. I'm going to keep posting videos that talk about tools, thoughts, books regarding team building and facilitation. It's something I'm kind of passionate about, so I really enjoy sharing this stuff with you. With that, I hope that this one was helpful, and yeah, all the best. Bye.